Well, you've come to the right place. Your one-stop shopping for all things Florida Sire Stakes. Jason, Acacia, Ron, closing Saturday here at Gulfstream Park. 14 races on the card, 2 divisions of the Florida Sire Stakes, beginning in race 2. A field of 6 lined up, guys. Sutosh will be an overwhelming favorite in the $400,000 in reality as we look at the field slate.
And it's a small, but it's a potent field. 3-5 on Sutosh after winning the Florida Sire affirmed last time out. Ralph Nix does have a 1-2 punch in here with Maranatha, but looking like Sutosh will try to make it 2 in a row as they stretch out, going the 2-turn distance.
Yeah, really improved when they put the blinkers on this horse last time out. 3-5 right now on the morning line, I think is a little generous.
Yeah, that seems like a conservative 3-5. He is no doubt odds on off this effort a few weeks ago at the start of August, or excuse me, September, when this horse upset the field in the affirm for trainer Ralph Nix. Did it with a very fast figure, and guys, did it, good trip aside, but he did it being able to just rate kindly off the pace.
And I like that he showed that other dimension in there. That was going the 7 furlongs. He actually ran a very respectable third in the Dr. Fager prior to that. But yes, you're right, it did set up for him. The gray horse, his stablemate Phantom Row, actually broke through the gate, showed a lot of early speed. Big performance from World of Trouble on the rail, who we won't see, but he did show that other dimension.
And always the Florida Sire Stakes, when you see horses able to rate, to come off the pace when they're going 6 or 7 furlongs, it's a good sign for when they stretch out to a mile in the 16th for the first time. It's just not a run and gun type horse that needs everything to go his way, so the horse is able to dictate the pace of what's in front of him.
Who did we pick on top? Well, the chalk flies through the air, but this is an imposing favorite. I have got Sutosh on top for the many obvious reasons. What about you, Acacia?
I went with Sutosh as well. I think he's going to be able to handle the distance. That's really going to be the biggest hurdle for these young horses in here. As we said, pretty strong field assembled, but looking at him physically, this 2-year-old by back talk should handle the distance.
Need I say any more? Number 3 is Sutosh for me also, for all the reasons you guys mentioned. But they run these races. Anything can happen, but might be a single on a lot of people's tickets. But take another look around. You might find a little bit of an upset. If you look over the years in the Florida Sire Stakes, we've had some big upsets besides big favorites winning.
There's a lot of history and prestige in these races, that's for sure, but Sutosh will command a ton of respect in Saturday's second. A bit later, in fact, a lot later in that 14-race card is the 13th race. That is the $400,000 My Dear Girl. You've got a bigger field than the boys earlier in race number 2 in the In Reality. In fact, 10 are set to go, but much like the Colt division, you have got a number of fillies coming out of the prep, so be it, for this race, and that was run in early September at Gulfstream Park. The Susan's Girl.
And this is a really interesting race. Yes, it's a bigger field. It may not be as clear-cut. You have Desert Honeys, who ran a very good second last time out in the Susan's Girl behind Starship Bonita, who's on the outside. Desert Honeys, of course, shipping in once again for Eddie Keneally.
Yeah, Desert Honey's working really sharply at Churchill Downs, coming into this race with a 5-furlong bullet in 59 and flat. So it looks like this horse is ready for the task this afternoon. But I find this race very intriguing because we got horses that need to go to lead, horses that stalk, and horses that close. Now, everybody knows the Desert Honeys had the worst of it last time out, was wide and really close to be second. I think this horse is going to run exceptionally well today.
And let's look at that wide trip off the far turn for Desert Honeys. She is right behind the first horse highlighted. That's Starship Bonita, who got an unbelievable ride that day at 14-1 from jockey Carlos Montalvo. I think the feeling is, though, come Saturday, that Desert Honeys, who's out in the middle of the track and almost idled. It was almost like she ran in different spots. She'll kick it in. I think the feeling is she's the one that's really going to take a step forward, whereas Starship Bonita's got to stretch out, guys, from the outside post.
I took a little bit of an aggressive approach as far as Starship Bonita goes. She's got the outside post today, as you said. She had the rail that day. And you did have another horse that's in here and Go Astray, who was in the white blinkers in there, setting the pace. And she unfortunately had a tough trip, but she should be a main speed presence again in here.
Now, you do have Arundel Farm and trainer Stanley Gold in the mix with the beaten favorite in the opening 2 Florida Sire Stakes. Her name is Awesome Mass. Acacia talked to Stanley Gold a few days ago and asked, can Awesome Mass rebound here Saturday?
She's training good. I think she'll go long. We need some better luck. We've been shuffled back twice, and their excuses. Maybe we'll have a clean trip, or on the inside we can stay on the rail 2 turns and hope we see what I really think she can do.
Now she is going that extra distance, as you mentioned. Was that kind of the goal point for her all along?
Well, all along you're looking forward and you're looking 2 turns, and I think her style will suit the 2 turns. She'll relax, but we've just had bad luck twice. We've gotten in trouble twice, had to drop back. It got used up. Maybe we'll have a little better luck this time, but we'll see. You know, I'm happy with the post position and the way she's training. We missed about 10 days with the hurricane, which is no one's fault, so the training regime has been limited. You can only do so much, so we'll give it a shot.
She had a nice work going 4 furlongs most recently. Were you pleased with that?
Yeah, that was what we were looking for. We've lengthened the gallops and tried to get a little more stamina into her, and she's taken everything well, and she's coming into it as good as I could hope.
She's a very good filly who's had no position in her last 2 races, and if you're still a part of that dwindling bandwagon, you're going to get a much bigger price come Saturday in the stake.
Yeah, I don't think she'll be the favorite this time like she was the last couple, and Stanley mentioned they did lose a little bit of training time due to the hurricane, but pleased with how she's coming in, and even seeing her at the barn, you can tell she really is a very classy filly. We'll see if she can rebound.
Well, as they say, a picture says 1,000 words. You look at the horse that broke next to her last time out, just went right to its knees. This one had to stumble to get out of the way, so maybe with a clean trip, awesome mass, rebounds this afternoon, on Saturday afternoon, you get a very good price.
I think she'll hit the board. I don't know as we look at our picks. I don't know, and I don't think in my heart she can beat Desert Honeys if you get that likely improvement from a likely favorite picking up Tyler Gaffalione. Who do you have?
And we're not being very creative as far as our picks go today, as I landed on Desert Honeys as well. I think that she's going to be able, again, to handle the stretch out in distance. I think that she's only moving upwards, and I like that she comes back for the second leg.
50 to 1 shot for you, Ronnie, on top.
Can I change my pick now? Do we have time to put a new pick up there? Can I go with Go Astray? Of course, I put Desert Honeys for all the reasons you mentioned. We did the show. We all picked the same horses in both legs of the Sire Stakes series, so a lot of weight for these horses to carry.
Indeed. I would consider scratching if I was part of the camp of Sutosh or Desert Honeys. Sunday, speaking of big favorites and classy horses, Curlin's approval runs in race 4 here Sunday, prepping for the Filly Mare Sprint.
She will. She comes out of the ballerina at Saratoga. They said she had a little bit of trouble getting out of the gate, but it was a bit of a tough trip. Of course, she has Breeders' Cup win in your in berth after winning the Princess Rooney here.
She's had 9 races here at Gulfstream Park with 6 wins, so this is her home track. She's certainly going to rebound. Grade 1 company up there. This is an overnight handicap called the Barely Even. I think she just jumps off the page against this level of competition.
It is onward and upward and out to Del Mar for the Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Sprint. Don't forget, Sunday closing day here at Gulfstream. Mandatory payouts in the Super High 5, Rainbow 6, and the Late Pick 5. Veron, Acacia, myself, have a great closing weekend here at Gulfstream Park and enjoy that final round of the Florida Sire Stakes.